Course. Griff! Leave it to me! Careful! All right, then.
I feel your wrath, your aggression.
Hey. All right, then.
Settle!
Yes?
Finish!
Of course.
That's it! Paralysis!
Not getting... Hey. Hey.
device. Shouldn't be here. What do you want? "15 years at Brackenbury. 7 tours to the ruins beyond Solace Vale. I'm an animancer. Still an animancer. That's what I'm trying to figure out! Forgive me. Forgive me. Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly... Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower, wore a mask, carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds, the strange wounds that had appeared overnight. And the machine, this cursed spire, dormant for 2,000 years, lifeless through hundreds of our experiments, and we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start? Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat. No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine. It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglonfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk. By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck, and there was hardly anyone left. Not yet, but I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply. I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance. I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did, but by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors. Not your help I need, it's Hadret, shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes! The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Help! I help you, yes. You bring me the words and something to keep me strong. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
You return. What if you come seeking this time? It's rude to stare, you know. Don't worry. I've no mind to start anything with you. That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is. He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning. Ternuneth. It's called Ternuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls. Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them, like butterflies under glass. To melt them down for raw essence. Unfortunately, perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Engwithans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment. Back to these Tinker's concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you? A level of human... So be it. These are the words you need. Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence... What exactly did you hope to accomplish? You and I both know I'll return to this body as long...
You cannot venture forth while in combat.
All right then.
Greetings. How fares your search? Well, let's hear it. I had feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. That isn't enough to take to the Duke, but we're close. Avar Wolf... This is troubling. That civilization seems to have known more about the mechanics of souls than anyone since. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Engwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame Animancy for it. As we speak, the Duke, I for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from what of them? We would only do that as a last resort. Walking in with one of the 3 invited groups puts you in a position of influence. It would be best if people did not see Dunreed Rowe's hand in this. Avar is many things to many people, and that is why he sits the throne. The man behind the tale may not be the greatest mind indeed. How fares your search? I've told you everything you need to. It's only right that you know everything. When I was younger, before Dunreed Rowe, I had many suitors. These were fine-looking men of good stock. but I could see their thoughts, and they were unimpressive. Boys' thoughts. I toyed with their affections. I resented all of them. And then I met a man whose mind was a mystery to me. But he understood me. He knew me at a glance, told me things I didn't know about myself. He was neither handsome nor charming, but he was all I ever wanted. We made a game of my gift. He would ask me about people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information was very sensitive. And then one day he asked me if I trusted him. I said I did. Next I knew I was donning a silver mask and swearing oaths to Woodica. I don't like living in the dark. It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day I did things without knowing their purpose. Every day I loved a man without... One day I disappeared without a word. He would kill me for it, and I knew that. It's their rule. I just wanted to see him plunge. I have devoted my years to learning everything I could about him, in hopes I would find some clue as to who he really was, and why he felt he had to keep his secrets locked away. And that is truly everything I can tell you about Theos. What of them? Unlikely as it may seem, House Doemenel is as much responsible for maintaining the peace as the... You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. What of them?